By the way, we're getting in touch with our interviewer for today, Michael, who runs Bible Says What. I think he might have lost track of the Zoom link, so I might send it to him back. It probably got sent automated and he forgot about it or something. And then I'll check my, because I know Facebook isn't running right now. Facebook. All right, atheists. I hate how you have to manually. Why can't they just make it like everything else? Here, hold on. You have no idea how many technical issues I'm working through right now. Every single USB port on my goddamn computer is dying. Dying, I'm telling you. Why does it feel like my mic filters are not keeping it from peaking? I can't even deal with that right now. Okay. Oh, shoot. Bring him in. He's here. Hello, Michael. Good to have you. Yeah. Awesome. I'll close Zoom. Yeah. Is this your first time using Discord, I assume? Hmm? Okay. Oh, does she have her own show or does she just use it for fun? Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. This is she assists you with the show, I assume? Or yeah. I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. I am just making sure that the Facebook Live goes up because everything else is up. But I had so many issues today. I was trying to. All my USB ports have stopped working spontaneously and are breaking physically. And I was going to replace my entire computer before the show. And then I realized I didn't have any thermal paste, and I figured out another setup where I actually running my USB camera off of another computer. It's all wild. It's all wild. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. I wanted to talk to you about separation of church and state, your conversation with that very grumpy Andrew guy who made a totally legitimate documentary on the separation of church and state, which he totally supports, by the way. Definitely is not definitely isn't anti separation of church and state. It's just that people don't understand what that means. We're just the ones who are wrong, obviously. And also I was curious, did you actually watch the documentary that he made at all about that? I subjected myself to that, if you can believe that. And I have. That's okay. And I was gonna talk to you a little bit about the strange things that he was writing with regards to that. And as I have been rambling, I have finally connected Facebook and it should be ready to go live. Go live, boom. Everything is as it should be in the world. I hope, because I've just checked 2 of the sites that I'm streaming to, so hopefully all of them are up and running. Oh God. Are you in the right spot? Yes, you are. And you can share your camera if you want. Am I sharing my camera yet? I am not. Here? Yeah. You can share your camera if you want. It's amazing stuff. It works? It's loading. Oh no. It's showing on your end? For some reason, it's still not showing on my end. It's okay. There you go. I see you now. Awesome. And you see me? Awesome. Streaming live from my apartment in Rhode Island. But by the way, are you what? I don't remember. What state are you based out of? Oh, Las Vegas. That's funny. I took a trip there not too long ago. I I I went to Vegas maybe a month ago. Hung out. Went to the Tanopa Dunes. Went to Vegas. I don't know. I didn't know where else to go, to be honest with you. Of all the tourists. Well, wait. Do tourists go in the summer? So do the tourists usually come in the winter then when it's cooler? How does that work? That's good. That's good. Sometimes it's better not to know. Now, it's funny because the conversation that you had with Andrew, he was so temperamental and kind of obsessed with getting one over on you that he couldn't even have time to talk about his documentary. Because I feel like it would have been interesting. So basically the way his documentary worked was the front was not really that controversial that I remember. I was going to do a more recent review of it before the show, but like I said, I had a million issues popping up. I actually recorded a little reaction on my part to both your interview with him and then afterwards the documentary to see what it was all about. So, uh, yeah, I have the tea, I guess. Now, the front was just talking about the colonists coming over and what denominations they were, and talking a little bit about Roger Williams. Some of it, like not that bad. It was not a terrible summary of everything. There was this one guy in the documentary I remember who kept irritating me whenever he spoke, but that's besides the point. But it wasn't until the end where they started setting up this straw man of the pro separation of church and state argument while pretending like they were actually totally fine with separation of church and state. It's just that other people took it too far. So what they set it up as is they pretended like the people who want separation of church and state literally want their analogy was that it'd be like having a metal detector that detects crosses that are in your pocket whenever legislators go into the state house building and they want to make sure that you don't bring crosses anywhere. And it's like that's not even close to the point. Like none of us care. I mean, I'm sure there's some people who would make this argument, but I don't even think we're at this point yet where oh, your legislators aren't allowed to wear religious artifacts around their necks when they're in session. Like none of us are even arguing that. Well, the problem becomes when the actual institution is, for example, a courthouse displaying the Ten Commandments on their fucking lawn, right? And it's things like that that's really meant to make it seem like you don't belong if that's not what you subscribe to. And that's the problem. Not whether Ilhan Omar wears whatever, Islamic artifact she wants, or whether some Christian guy wears a cross in the Senate. No one cares about that. It's not the problem, right? Oh yeah, we should be, but I'm not. I'm not out here. Yeah, yeah, swearing on the Bible exactly. Where if you have to swear that you'll tell the truth in a court of law, or whenever you testify to something, you put your hand on the Bible, and they say, "Oh, you could substitute another text if you want. The Bible is not your thing." But it's kind of silly that that's a thing at all, right? Like, because what if you're an atheist? What are you supposed to do? Swear on a chemistry textbook? It doesn't make any sense, right? Yeah. Exactly. Now, and Andrew, and at the end of this documentary and in this conversation with you, he leaned on this idea. Oh, well, the problem was just that we need to make it so that a single denomination doesn't control the state. Not that Christianity isn't involved in government. It's just that we don't want this one sect who's, for example, I think he brought up the Pope running things, like having a very solid place in the British government or something along that lines. And while that is a worse problem, that's not the only problem. And Roger Williams absolutely did not want, for example, the founder of my state. He did not want, despite the fact that he was still religious, he didn't want his religion or Christianity in general being mandated to people in the state or being established as a, you know, recognized entity in the state. It's not supposed to be that, well, it's okay if you just have general Christianity controlling your government. It's not supposed to be part of it at all. The state isn't supposed to be in the business of dictating people's religious beliefs, even if it's just so generalized, oh, we're all Christian here. Yeah. So he tried to set up that false dichotomy where because he knows in his bones that the founders, everyone who came here to create our country, to create America, that they did have a principle of separation of church and state. So instead of fighting against that, because you know that he's not for that, he sets up this dynamic where he is pretending that he's for that, but that you're doing it wrong. And then he tries to manipulate the issue so that he can still get his way somehow. And it's really weird the way that they play that game, that rhetoric game. Yeah, yeah. Um, he's like, oh, it's not that we are still a Christian nation. We're foundationally Christian, is what he said when he was talking to you. And also, what one of the people that I assume he did the interviews himself, he wasn't in the documentary himself, one of the people he interviewed said. And while the founders were absolutely, a lot of them, Christian, they also, for example, the father of the Constitution, James Madison, he wrote very viciously against having the state and the church intermingle. He thought that it was bad for both the church and the state. And it was to the point where he thought that when was it clerics? Am I using the right term? When the state was having no chaplains, when the state had chaplains, whether it was for the military or for some area of the government, he thought that should be banned entirely. He thought that was completely unconstitutional when he wrote about that. He was that dogmatic about it. So where do these people get the idea that we have to be a Christian nation? Yeah. And it's very frustrating. It's funny because a lot of these people don't even espouse supposedly Christian values themselves. Like, I'm not a pacifist myself. I'm not necessarily like a huge hippie person necessarily, but when he's talking to you, and I guess you said something along those lines, he was mocking you for, oh, peace loving hippie over here. You're the next Mahatma Gandhi, he said. So if if he cares so much about these values, why doesn't he follow them himself? Exactly. Yeah, it's both when you have like one-on-one conversations with them, and it's the way that they act when they conduct themselves, whether it's in the public sphere or some activist group or never. Oh my God, my OBS is not picking up your voice. I'm going to lose my mind. Uh, all right. Whew. I love technology. I love
Oof.
OBS. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
It's picking you up now. For the entire time,
good.
it's just been me talking. I
No.
apologize. I mean, I've been able to hear you, but
Well, good. Well, at least we had that. That's okay. That's
yeah,
good. I've
this
had
is
those
fine.
conversations before in the past. The Bible says what? When I first started, many times the old system I was using, I would lose entire conversations. I would not have the other person, or it would be like so low I couldn't get it fixed or anything. So
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of conversations that way. So frustrating.
We've been trying, honestly, we've been trying to get a producer for the show. I mean, we have had some people, some volunteers from Taproot give us advice on how to do a better quality podcast.
Yeah.
But we've had people, who have been, talking with us about maybe being producer, then they have other things to do. So it would just be so
It's
nice
tough.
while I'm over here trying to review the stuff I want to talk about with you, and also trying to figure out why I have no working USB ports. I can't connect any of my peripherals for the stream. It would be nice to have someone who could at least, hey, by the way, no one can hear him. But thank
Preach
you,
it.
Joe,
That'd
for
be
letting
nice,
me know. Right?
Yeah.
Do you
it's
have a
fixed, by the
producer?
way. It's yeah. No, it's just me, myself, and I. And
How do you deal with it all?
Things that work half the time. Do you see any hair? This is how I deal with
There
it.
you go.
See all this gray? This is from the show and the kids, not just the show.
It's funny. A lot of the right-wing Christian activists who I get into fights with publicly and online, their go-to seems to be that I'm balding, but I don't know. I feel like I still have quite a bit of hair going on. I'm not sure where they get that.
You win. No, you definitely win. I love that when I tell them to. I send the bears is what I do in those instances. The First Kings story where bald man, Elijah on the hill.
Wait, tell me more about that. What is that story?
So if
remember.
somebody is calling me bald, I will refer to the Second Kings story where Elijah's going up the hill and the kids are making fun of him. Hey, baldy, baldy! And Elijah calls down a curse upon them in the name of the Lord, and the Lord essentially possesses a couple of bears, and the bears kill 42 of them.
Seems a little extreme. Seems a little extreme for someone calling you bald. I mean, I would call bears on these people. I would just say mean things back.
I send the bears.
Yeah, you send the bears. Oh God, I'm just gonna reply to I'm gonna reply to anyone saying that to me now with a bear emoji or something.
You need
that's
to.
That's gonna be my go-to.
If you want it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so I can have the physical copy when I go to the state house and they yell things at me.
There you go.
Now, and it's just so funny how all these supposedly loving Christian people are so aggressive and vicious to the point where it kind of becomes a farce that they are the more virtuous people, but two, the people who reflect Christ, who is sort of this pacifist hippie, love your enemy type guy, because they don't love their enemies. I don't get that impression from them, to be quite honest with you. Well, I mean, I'm not here pretending I love my enemies either. What?
It's true too. But I mean, Jesus did say some things that weren't always just kumbaya. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword.
Oh yeah, he did say that.
Family and your brother and your mother.
It was sort of self-contradictory, the stories it told. It kind of seemed like it was written by some guys who were high at the time, I don't know.
Or several different guys with different opinions.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 of them, right? And he also had that line where he sort of did apology for the Old Testament and say that he wasn't there to replace it, even though the Old Testament God was freaking psychotic and he supposedly was this love thy enemy type guy again. I mean, although he did say the sword thing. But even he said, render unto Caesar what is his, and unto the God what is his. He sort of an early separation of church and state advocate, you might say. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah. Only some might say.
Of course.
Others will avoid the obvious. Yeah.
We have a very active and very aggressive anti-atheist, but more Christian fundamentalist group here in Rhode Island. We have several known figures, some of whom were just conservative moms who became legal activists, kind of, where they're going around suing people. And then we have people who harass you, or their favorite thing with pro-trans advocates is to basically call them pedophiles over and over. And in fact, I'm actually
Wow.
myself suing someone over something related to that. But they contact your job, and then they contacted the jobs of people who didn't say nice things about Charlie Kirk.
Wow.
They are very motivated. And there was this guy.
Wow.
So, for example, there was this guy named Robert Sharadio who went around every school committee in Rhode Island, like top to bottom, north to south, basically railing at them to defy the state board of education and to not do trans acceptance policies, basically, because everyone was transing the kids and it was very dangerous, and they were indoctrinating them into the trans cult or something
Ugh.
along those lines.
Yeah, typical. Yeah.
And what's interesting about that guy is at some point it came out that a Dave Sharadio, guy from a different name, but the same last name, from the town where he lived, got caught and convicted for CSAM, for possessing child pornography. And I started tweeting at this guy, "Hey, is this a relative of yours?" He never said anything about it, so wasn't terribly talkative about that particular topic when someone was actually grooming children, or not grooming children, I guess, you know, possessing CSAM. Was never able to confirm whether that was like his brother or something, but it would be very ironic if that was the case. I was actually at the next school committee meeting that he went to, and he was a lot softer and quieter than normal. I'm not sure, but it was very interesting how that works, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Christians.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. You got some aggressive people out there. I don't know my local community too much on their aggression.
Yeah.
But I do get it a lot online. That's for sure. We've had quite a few. Now that I go live a lot more and I'm more aggressive with my lives, they definitely come back with their death threats are always popular, or
And how long have you been getting death
racist
threats?
children. Oh, recent. Well, back in the day, I get subtle things, but nothing too extreme like I'm getting now. Probably again because I'm being a little more vitriolic against the callers and stuff right now. So, and it kind of brings it out in them, and it's just sad to see. You can't take any kind of opposition. You can't take any kind of criticism with your belief structure or what you do on your daily basis with crackers. It's so sad to me. It's so sad to me. I feel we need to do better as a species, and I'm finding a lot of times these religious people, they feel like they're getting backed into a corner, so feel they have to lash out instead of just questioning what they believe. They lash out violently, or racist children. I mean, I have an entire list full of racist children's phone numbers that keep calling me.
Oh,
it's
God.
nuts. It's nuts. I don't get it. It's crazy. Say one bad thing about God and they just lose their shit.
They
send their children.
They do teach their children to be as crazy as them. Hopefully the children grow up and ameliorate. Now, what was I gonna? So did this get worse after Andrew? Because I saw he was trying to review bomb you and tell people not to go on your show anymore, and he took credit because I think you took a break for a week, and he said that was because of him, and he was like doing a victory lap. What was the deal with all of that?
No, me. So I do my I guess it's fishing for guests on a certain site, and I hadn't been up to par on it during Andrew's time. And I guess he left a review. I haven't seen it. I do have some gnarly reviews on there from just past guests that can't handle any kind of questioning. It's really sad. I even held their hand like little babies, through it. I didn't say anything bad. I was
you didn't even say anything really mean to Andrew. I mean, you were a little snarky at times when he was like obsessively, I don't know, calling you a fan of Mao or whatever the hell he was doing. And it's very interesting how when he became uncomfortable and unable to answer questions or to defend his worldview, his go-to was to repeatedly say that you were a fan of Mao, and you're like, I'm not a fan of Mao. I don't like him. And then he just kept repeating that. And it came
backed into a corner.
Yeah.
That's what it is. He's just lashing out. He's like a wild animal. Fucking nuts, man. They're just, I don't know what to do. It's you. You're bad.
And they don't know what to say, so they keep repeating the same point because they think that they're getting one over on you. And it's just really weird. The conversation did get deflected at a couple of points. to other conversations, sort of not really so much related to the topic. And it, every time something came up, he would have to deflect, he would have to change course, and he would have to try to attack your personal beliefs instead of defending his own. And you weren't even necessarily letting him bait you all the time into doing that. Uh, but he still would not let the conversation get redirected back to the topic at hand. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He was. He's one of the more unhinged people, unable to have a conversation that I've seen a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's definitely one of the more unhinged I've had on the show. I've had some unhinged guys, but he's up there with them. I've
And it
actually had
wasn't even in an interesting way. It would be nice to see a fight, but
yeah.
it's hard to even qualify what that conversation was as a fight on ideological grounds. It was just, no, you like Mao, you're an atheist, and Mao was an
Yeah.
atheist, so you like Mao. I was like, okay, bro, yeah,
Yeah,
you got
it's
me.
sad. It's really sad. It's sad. I wish people would do better. The human race it's going down a path, man, and it's scary, very scary.
Yeah,
But I love Mao, so what do I care?
right, exactly.
Flip that, yeah.
Oh boy. Now,
Christians. Ugh.
so we have a couple people, like I said. We have this lady named Nicole Solis, who was just some random South Kingstown mom who got mad about trans things. And now
Soulless?
her name is Solas, but I do make fun of her by calling her soulless. You are right. That is
I love
exactly
that.
on
I
par.
love that.
She goes on Fox News and everything, and she went around. I think she made like, and I don't remember the exact detail on top of my head, so I might be butchering this, but I think she made like 1,000 freedom of information request acts towards schools because she was mad about them doing trans acceptance. She was basically bullying them through the process, and so they sued her. Um,
Oh,
I don't remember
good.
the result of the lawsuit, to be perfectly honest with you, but she
Yeah.
also sues other educational entities now for not letting her into closed meetings that she says she should have access to. She just goes around and does this. Apparently, she has a legal license
Wow.
in one state, but not the other. It might be Mass and not Rhode Island. I'll have to double check. But and these guys all have a network where they work together. So there's her. There's Amy Rodriguez, who is the chapter head for Moms for Liberty. That basically we like to call them neo-Nazi mom group in our state. Have you heard of Moms for Liberty? Do they have a chapter in Nevada?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I see. I need to get more into the local stuff. I really do. I'm not even in contact with my local atheist community. Um, Things I need to do.
Oh, is there an American Atheist chapter in Nevada?
I know we have an atheist group out here. A couple of them. I've never contacted them.
Yeah, and we
Terrible.
have.
I'm a bad atheist.
That's okay. You gotta go to atheist church, and that means school committee
I know.
meetings
See.
and no. But and then so there's them. There's a guy named Anthony Delana who is a Narragansett Republican committee chair, even though he's never been able to achieve office. And there's a few of these people, and they all network together. And whenever someone like me fights with them, they all sort of band together to harass that person. I think
Wow.
couple years ago, I went to Providence Pride at March, and I marched with Rhode Island Atheists, actually. And I was wearing a skirt. Like, I was basically wearing a dress, you know? And 10 months later, when I was arguing with one of these people, all of them, the Republican committee chair, the guy who goes around school committees, Dave Shiradio, this random girl I was fighting with, they all start spamming this photo at me 10 months later as if we didn't post it ourselves and I marched there on purpose to like, because they think they're going to humiliate me.
I love
And this
that.
is the way that they fight. The Christians, by the way, they turn the other
It's
cheek
so dumb.
people. It's
Yeah, no, I get called gay all the time, stuff like that. It's hilarious. It's like, why are you thinking these are insults? This is so weird. You're so straight. I'm gonna start using that. I'm gonna start saying that. Well, you're straight. I like that idea. Writing.
and the joke with me wearing that skirt in the march, by the way, became that I wanted to lure children.
Oh
Actually,
wow,
they said that for actually what they weren't even joking. They were trying to push that. They tried to say that several times.
That's creepy, man. That's so nuts.
Yep. So
Like where their brains go is just it's dark and it's not their fruits of the spirit Jesus talk they talk about for sure.
yeah, it's just very interesting how They will use any means necessary to conduct their political battles, but yet they're the peace and loving people, supposedly. But any means are justified to them,
Yeah,
even if
it's a
they
cornered Christian.
even if they direct harassment and violence towards you, and even if they try to like destroy your life entirely. It's all good because they're fighting the good
Yeah,
fight, and you're the enemy.
because Jesus loves them.
Jesus loves
He
them.
loves them. He loves them more for harassing non-believers.
Yeah.
Gross.
And then they try to rewrite our state history like Andrew did,
Ooh.
which is literally founded on separation of church and state. That's why Roger Williams founded our state. But then to try to pretend like, oh no, that's not what he meant. He just meant this other thing. And actually intertwining Christianity with the state is totally based, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like when Jesus, oh, I didn't come to bring a sword. That's not what he meant, bringing a sword. That's not what he meant. Oh, when
Yeah.
God drowned all the children for stupid reasons, that when he said you regret it, that's not what he meant. That's not what he meant. They do the same thing with everything. It's a whole mentality. There's like a Jesus brick wall in their head or something that you just can't get any reason, logic, or yeah, you can't get past it.
And I will never understand the story of Abraham. That was when, even as a kid, I was like, this is just fucked. Like, this doesn't make any moral sense.
None.
This guy's a good guy because God told him to kill his son for no reason. He was like, okay, based, and he was about to do it, and then God stopped him, so that's why it's okay. It's like,
That's why it's okay. Well, because God didn't know if he was going to be loyal or not, right? The all-knowing God didn't know
yeah,
the
because
loyalty test.
loyalty to authority was more important than not killing someone for no reason. It's very interesting how the virtues align there. Where God had an ego and he was in an argument with Satan, and he had to prove to Satan how much this human loved him. So to satiate his ego and to basically win an argument with the devil, he set this guy up to sacrifice his son.
Yeah,
it's just
Job. That's Job 2:3. It's one of my favorite verses. You entice me to ruin a man for no reason. God admits that Satan tricked him right there. Job 2:3. And Christians love to tap dance around that one. Oh no, God let him do it. Yeah, that's still bad. All of it's bad. You're not getting the bad part here.
All knowing, all powerful, and all good, by the way.
Yeah. Dumber than shit. That's where I'm at. Dumb. God's a failure.
So were you in a religious family? When did you become atheist? And how did that sort of play out for you?
Yeah, I did grow up in the church. Every Wednesday, twice on Sundays, sometimes on Thursdays, always at that church. Grew up in Christian schools, so I was indoctrinated into it. I didn't think that there was anybody that did not believe in God. I thought that's what it was. Everybody had a God of some sort, but my God was the right one, and Satan was tricking everybody else. So I had read the stories from the perspective of the pastors and the teachers. They gave me the books. I read the stories from the books. I even taught a little bit of Sunday school when I was older.
You taught Sunday school?
I did. I did a little puppet ministry thing. I was part of that. I think this what I do now is to counterbalance the indoctrination I did when I was younger. But essentially, as I got older in my older teenage years, in the 17, 18, 19 area, I started to just kind of put everything aside and do my own thing. And the fear of hell was mainly the thing that kept me holding on to it. Just
the
kind
year
of
of hell?
I shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, the fear
Oh,
of
the
hell.
fear of hell, excuse me.
Yeah.
So wait. So you were doing Sunday school, but when you were, what was it, 19 or 20? When did you say?
Yeah, I moved out when I was like 15, so I started doing my own thing because I didn't have to go to church anymore. I didn't have to do these things.
Okay,
So
so
I
you
started doing my
moved
own
out
thing.
at 15. Were you already teaching
Yeah.
Sunday school at that point, or was that before?
13, 14, 15, I was in the Sunday school with Puppet Ministries.
Oh,
Man,
okay.
I haven't thought about that in a while. Yeah, man.
And so you moved
Yeah,
out. You moved out and you stopped going to church. So you had already started to have doubts?
Yeah, I already started to have doubts and questions because the authority pressed against me was a lot. But then I think when I was 15, 16 area, I heard George Carlin, of all things, talk about religion. And I had never heard anybody say those things before.
Right.
and it started to get some gears working. And so I just kind of put everything aside. I started doing my own thing, like I said, worldly stuff, I guess, sinning, a lot of sinning.
Yeah.
But the hell thing kept me on. When I got older, I actually picked it up for myself. I had a friend who was an atheist who talked to me about certain Dawkins and stuff like that. So I actually picked up the Bible and I started reading it. Holy crap!
And
That
how old
to
were you
me,
in this at this point?
oh man, maybe 20s,
Okay.
20 early 20s. Man, I don't remember. There's a lot of stuff in there. But reading the book, I started with the Exodus story, and then I went back to the beginning and started reading from the. But man, it's just when you're not being taught these stories, when you can actually read what's happening for yourself. It's a whole nother world. That's why right now it's so frustrating when I talk to a Christian who's a hardcore believer. Have you actually read the book? No, I haven't read the book. Well, that is so frustrating to me. Just pick up the damn thing and read it. If you're going to dedicate your life to something, at least read the damn book. Like
Yeah.
it's the first step, I would think. I mean, to starting to do your whole belief system. So to me, I fell apart. It started falling apart piece by piece by piece, and I dived in. I researched it. I had little note cards all over the place. I started writing a book. I wrote a book. The Bible says what, I
Oh, so
started
you
the
wrote a book called The
podcast.
Bible Says What?
Yeah, yeah, it's a thing. It's a tiny little thing, but it's a thing. I hate the cover. Can't stand the cover. My publisher, who's my publisher? Apatia Press. They chose that cover. But
It's
yeah, no,
yeah, I can see it's a strange cover for the content. Yeah.
yeah, lightning God is striking me, I guess, is the whole premise. But I hated it, and I didn't really get a say there. But I complain about it every time, and I told them I would, and I'm doing it.
Now, did the book sell well?
I don't know. It's here and there. It's
Okay.
not my. I just to me the book is it's my journey
Oh,
through what I learned to begin with. Um, it's a stepping stone. There's lots of things I didn't cover. I'm working on book number 2. I've been working on book number 2 as long as George R. R. Martin's been working on book number 8 or whatever it is. Um, so there's a lot to it. I want to add a lot I didn't say.
it looks like
Well,
your
I said
book
I
is
should have
available
changed.
on Amazon and on Apple.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
feel that, bro. So, how old were you when you wrote the book?
Arts. Oh man, it's been 10 years. No,
Oh,
8 years. Maybe 8 years. I don't know. Time goes so fast, man. Let's see. I'm gonna
it's
look at
been
my
eight
book here. Let's see
years.
what it says. Eight
Yeah.
years?
Wait, no, I wasn't stating that as
Oh,
fact. I was asking.
it's been 5 years. 5 years.
5 years?
2021.
Okay, 2021. All right, that's cool.
There.
So that was more recent. I see. Now I'm gonna shill it a little bit. Do a little shilling for it.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
Oh.
Now, so my journey was that in 7th grade, we moved for exactly 1 year to Portland, Oregon, to the West Coast, and I went
Mm.
to school there in a public school. So previously, so K through 5th, I was raised in a Catholic family. Like every single person in my family is Catholic. No one else left. I'm the only one. And I'm not mad about it at all. But
Yeah.
even the more progressive people. Now, I stating that as
Oh,
fact, I was asking. Oh my god, I'm playing my audio back into my ears. Okay. No, so I did that. I changed to public school in the 6th grade, instead of the private Catholic school, for reasons. And then I got into this super religious part of 6th grade where I was reading the Bible late at night when my parents thought I was sleeping because I wanted to read the book. This is the truth of everything.
right.
You got to read that.
The
And
answers are in there.
I think I got through all of Genesis, and I was like, "Is this just a list of animal sacrifices they did? People living to 1,000 years old?" And I would sit there, I'd read. I was like, "Wow, this person lived to 1,300 years old." I would sit with that. I would think, "Wow, so amazing." And I would try to contact God telepathically with my mind. Speak to me, God. And it was this whole thing I went through where I was trying to get in touch with my religion, right?
I love it.
It was a little shaky. And I couldn't tell if I could feel him there or not, you know. But I was still in it. And I started Exodus, and I just got so fed up with reading that damn book. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll have an adult read this to me sometime, some pastor, some Bible study thing. Until then, I'm okay. I want to go back to sleeping at night. You know what I'm saying? Like not staying up reading this damn thing. So I stopped that.
Mm-hmm.
Then 7th grade, I went to Portland, Oregon, and I went to a public school. There were actually a couple people there who were atheists. I don't think I had ever met an atheist before in my life. And
Weird, right?
but it's not like we talked about it a lot. They just sort of mentioned it. And I don't know necessarily that is what started me. I feel like I was already starting to have doubts, but
Yeah.
that certainly didn't help, being exposed to other ideas, right?
No,
So we were
especially if they start making sense.
right? My dad was taking me to what I remember as being like an East Asian Catholic church or something where it was in another language. I swear to God this happened. Maybe I'm thinking of the place across the street. I feel like I remember sitting there like I don't even understand a word these guys are saying. But it was in the area. And
Huh.
I was staying up at night thinking very seriously about the fact that I was having doubts. And one night I remember we went on some weekend trip, uh, maybe somewhere in California, maybe somewhere in Oregon, and I was at the hotel and my parents were out and I was in bed. And I sat down. This was my moment to have a serious thought about what I believed. And the thought that kept sticking in my head was that I was born by chance into a Catholic family. If I was born to a Muslim family, I would be Muslim, no question. This is the reason why I was Catholic. And I wasn't fooling because people fool themselves into thinking that they believe it because it's true. You believe it because you were raised in it. And that has nothing to
Well,
do with whether or not it's true. And like the chances that you were born by luck into the right religion are low. It doesn't make any sense to view it that way. And this was the thought process I was going through at like 12 years old or whatever, however old that 7th grade was. And after thinking about that for a good few minutes, I was like, well, that's it. This is not true, and I don't believe in God anymore. I sort of said my telepathic goodbye to Jesus in my brain. There might have even been a cross on the hotel. I don't know. No, there were. I guess it's just a Bible that was in the little drawer there. And then
yeah.
I didn't believe anymore. And then I told my father one day after we were sitting in the car after church, and he flipped out. He was not happy. He was like, "What? You don't believe?" That sort of thing. Very upset, I guess, with himself. And his
Hmm.
mother is super, super fundamentalist religious, so she would not be happy when she eventually learned either. Um, she actually used to send my stepmother mean emails, not for not being religious, but for being growing up Episcopalian rather than Catholic, and that meant that she was
Jesus.
going to hell. And she made my stepmother cry that same year for that reason. So me coming out as an atheist, that's like a whole thing. And you know what? That's the terrible part about it, is that religion really sets in the barbs, the change to keep you from leaving it, because it's your family connections are harmed by you leaving the faith. Your
Yeah.
social connections at church, if your social group are all friends who go to church, 70% of the country, what maybe less now, is Christian. So you're sort
Hopefully.
of setting yourself up to be more isolated by not believing in this anymore or having problems with religion. And
Yeah.
also, like you said, the fear of God, torture in the afterlife that's everlasting. You don't want to. What reward do you do? What reward do you get for doing the right thing and leaving religion and setting aside supernatural beliefs? There's no reward. Not at least short term. Long term, you might argue there's some philosophical or intellectual reward for being more truth seeking. But
Yeah.
when you're,
I don't have to defend. I don't have to defend a documented child killer anymore. So
that is
I'm
true.
now
That
a
is a
better
plus.
human being at that point. I feel I'm a better human at that point.
That is true. But that's sort of like once you get to the point where you're willing to question it in the first place. Religion is set up
Mhm.
so that you never want to do that in the first place because there are so many punishments for doing it, and there's really no tangible reward from where you're sitting at the moment. There's no reward, especially
Yeah.
for a child who's been
Yeah.
themselves indoctrinated in religion their entire life. There's no reward for leaving. There really isn't.
Yeah.
It's all just rough stuff. And
Yeah.
the longer they live that life, the more years they go through living that life, the less likely it is you're ever going to want to leave. So they have
Mm.
a inbuilt advantage that's sort of
Mm.
very painful to drag yourself away or rip yourself away from its malicious hold on you. And I just really
Yeah.
find that distasteful when I think about, how difficult it was for me to make that decision, and how a person who was less stubborn than me might not ever make that decision, or even if they were questioning, they would just never say because they were so afraid of consequences.
Yeah. Man. No, I think too, as a kid, if you drag them out of it at a younger age, they're able to, I guess, gain the ability to cope with the reality of the world, as
Yeah,
opposed to just believing in that fantasy of it. Because you when you rip them out as an adult, they don't have those abilities. They haven't learned how to do that. Uh, I think that's makes it even more detrimental. But man, holy cow, so many different things there.
yeah, and for
Lots of
people who are adults, like, if when you don't leave early, I have heard stories people get depressed, they don't know, there's no meaning in life, they don't know what to do, and you will grow out of that eventually unless you are
mm,
like, I don't know, super
therapy
mentally not in the
helps.
right place, I guess. What'd you say?
Therapy
Oh yeah,
definitely
therapy,
helps for
very,
sure.
very important.
Yeah,
Right.
get yourself some help.
But I guess if you're a kid, you bounce back more easily and you're luckier. But for some people, it would break their entire mental because it was their entire life, their entire social group, the way they view the world. It's
Yeah,
rough stuff. Like, how do
yeah. I
people
think about
deal with that?
those pastors that actually turn, that change from like, holy shit, I don't believe this anymore. What do they do? Like, that's such a tough thing. I know there's a group of pastors that have left religion that kind of stick together, but what
Yeah,
a thing. You've made this your whole life, your whole career, and then all of a sudden you realize, well, crap, I've been duped and I've been duping other people. I can't continue to do this. What do I do? That's
right.
tough, man. Religion. So
Ha-
harmful.
Do you know? I think it was. Am I thinking of something different? No, I'm okay. So there's a Scientologist lady and there's a naturopath lady. People who left Scientology, people who left naturopath. One is Leah Remini. Do you remember? Do you remember who I'm talking about? And then the other, I don't know if I'm. Hold on. Let me double check before I say the wrong one because I'm mixing the two up in my head right now. Leah Remini, Scientology in the aftermath. Okay, so Leah Remini was the Scientology lady. Have you seen this lady talk about leaving Scientology?
No.
That's like, I mean, all religions are kind of cultish, but that's like supercharged cult, right?
Yeah.
Like, you could probably legally define them as one, even in our Christian nation here, where
Yes.
everyone defends religion. But her entire family uh shuns her forever. She's ripped out. All this money that was sunk into this thing that she believed in is gone.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting story to me when she went out and started talking about how Scientology ruined her.
Mm. Yeah. There was a documentary on HBO or something about that years
Yeah,
ago. I remember watching. That
I
was
don't remember
crazy.
if I saw
That's
that.
tough.
I mean, I don't usually have subscription services, so maybe I saw like an interview she did on with someone else or something. I'm not sure how I first found her, but that was very interesting to me to watch.
Yeah. Crazy sauce how people can get sucked into those things so deeply.
Yeah.
Um, Cruise.
Yeah, true. Now, back to the original topic, I guess, of separation of church and state.
Yes.
So, obviously we have an uphill battle as far as that's concerned, and it's getting worse rather than better. It used to be getting better. Uh as I remember it, a few years ago, every time someone would try to stick the 10 Commandments on the courthouse lawn, someone would try to stick a Baphomet statue right there. Or some
Uh-huh.
if they started doing Christian prayers at town council meetings, someone from the Satanic Temple would go in and send someone to do the Satanic incantation. And I'm all for this. Now I get mixed
Yeah.
up. There's a Satanic group that's not actually Satanists; they're atheists who are LARPing in order to basically own the Christians. And then there's another
Uh-huh.
one where they're actually like they believe in Satan, so on and so forth, and they have their little Bible things. And honestly, as long as these groups are stopping these people from trying to make it all about them, I'm all for it
Yeah.
because the best case scenario is they go in, they start doing their things and weirding people out, and then they realize that they don't want religion actually in government at all because if
I
they
think
have
we
to
need
let
more
everything
like
in,
that.
yeah,
If we had 10 different groups trying to put 10 different statues in front of the lawn, they would give up. But we don't have enough. I think we need more.
there needs to be more people like that. Um,
Yeah.
now, now, what do you feel about the is the Satanic Temple the actual atheist one that pretends to be Satan, or are they the real ones? I don't
think
remember.
so. I
Okay.
think so. I love it, but they are definitely the LARPing, and I love the LARPing part of it because it just shows how dumb the religion is all across the board. Because that's what Christians are doing too. They're LARPing. That's all they're doing.
That's
They're
true.
praying to their invisible friend. They're pretending they have magical armor and powers. And my favorite one. This is a sword.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god.
Okay, show me. I'd love to see that.
I
They're
just
so dumb. It's so dumb.
I just wish that they had the ability to do more for the Texas
Mm,
mandating they teach, biblical passages in schools now. I just wish they would
mm.
find a way to sue and make it so that they also have to teach like something from the Satanic Bible. They have one, I think. Freak people
Yeah, didn't
out.
they have an after-school program or something too
The
as
after
well? I
school
love
Satan
that.
Club.
That
I
was
remember
good.
that. So how did that get started? Do you remember the story behind that?
I don't remember. I think it was about the same thing. They started a Christian club. They had that after-school Christian club, and this is like, well, we can have one too then. So, and that's where I think we need 10 religions having 10 after-school clubs and statues, and I love this and prayers just to make how silly it is. I love this.
So there are different. That could work. Even having like a Muslim group could work against some of these Christian groups. Not all of them.
Absolutely.
Some of them would be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. But some of them were like, oh my god, this dangerous. I don't feel safe anymore. No more religion in schools. There are some of the more, whether they're obsessed with hating, Arabic people or whether they,
It's
think
brown
Islam's an
people.
evil
Brown
religion.
people.
Yeah, brown people, exactly. Where you could really use their own bigotry against them in that way. But I just don't understand. I just wish it was more widespread. They shouldn't be able to do it. People should be suing, and
Yeah.
it is what it is, I guess. And I was
Yeah.
blown away by the Texas the Texas schools ruling, or it was a ruling. Was it the court? Was it a court thing? I don't remember now. No, it was just a school updating a policy to make it so that or the state updating school policy so that they mandated it, right? There was no court action around that, was there?
I don't recall.
Okay.
I don't recall.
I was blown away by that because that is the most anti-American feeding you religious belief shit I've ever seen. Oh, did you know? I'll tell you a Rhode Island story. So I think this was back when I was in high school, or maybe a little bit younger. Maybe I'm misremembering. There was a student named Jessica Alquist who sued the school in Cranston, Rhode Island, because they had a prayer banner praising God in their public school on the wall. I think it was painted on.
Wow.
And she was like, this shouldn't be here. And then you had grown adults, state representatives going on radio shows, calling her an evil little thing because she was doing this.
Wow.
This was like 2010s-ish era. And
Wow.
so I think they got death threats. Her father, by the way, is a journalist named Steve Alquist, or not father, maybe it was a uncle or grandfather. I have to go double check. I interviewed him. They're getting death threats. They're getting, bad mouth in the press. Everyone's, bullying this girl, obviously. And she ends up winning the court case because she's just flat out right. There's no fucking bones about it. She's fucking right. It shouldn't be there. And the story I was told by Steve Alquist, he said, do you know what they did with that prayer banner? And I say, no, what did they do? He says, instead of just painting over it, which wouldn't have costed that much, they took it out brick by brick, like they were preserving the fucking tabernacle or something, and stored it in the basement and then replaced it with a more wall so that they could save the prayer
paint
banner.
Over God. They couldn't do it.
Isn't that crazy? How obsessed they are.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Religion is nuts. We're so screwed.
They had spent so much money doing it that way too.
Oh, of course.
What, do they think they're gonna put it back up sometime?
They're hoping. The orange guy will do it for them. God's back in the office.
I need my Baphomet wall painting in public schools.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or the band Ghost. Maybe just paint this guy. They probably hate this too. Look at the satanic symbol.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Oh, they lose it. Yeah. No, I got horns I wear for my lives I do, and they just can't handle it. So I bring out the Mickey Mouse ears to counterbalance it.
Oh yeah,
Now I worship
the yin
Mickey
and the
Mouse. Look at
yang.
that, guys.
Mickey, known Christian philanthropist. Although I guess Walt Disney was kind of crazy, wasn't he?
Yeah, no.
Now, so so you have a process, I assume, for finding people to fight with, finding these Christians to interview and talk with. What was that like?
For the main show, the Bible Says What show, I use a program called, where is it? Podmatch, and the other one is Farts, man. I don't know what these things are called. I've been using them for years. Matchmaker,
Matchmaker.
Matchmaker FM. It's for radio uh, guest findings. I use
Yeah.
both of those systems. I get some pretty decent guests. That's where I found that weirdo
Sometimes.
who didn't like me. He loves Mao. Yes, I use sometimes. Lately, I think the system or that particular site has been taken over by amateur podcasters who don't know what they're doing.
Yep.
I'm getting a lot of that. They don't know how to put a scheduling thing together. They don't know how to respond back to messages. So a lot of that I think has changed. And just I think I'm getting a little more picky about my guests as well. So,
Yeah. After your experiences, I'm sure that's good. What kind of guests have you had since Andrew? Because unfortunately I haven't been following what you've been doing since.
Pastor, I think, is in there. We've had a singer, songwriter person, lady, decent guests. Nobody like that. Nobody's vitriolic. The vitriol mainly comes again from the lives that I do. Those are on purpose to be a little more open, vitriolic. We're not afraid to swear.
Yeah.
On that one.
So how did those more recent conversations go? How did they end with those two people that you mentioned, the pastor and the singer?
Decent. I won't have them back.
Okay.
I do have guests back a lot of times. I will have guests back sometimes 2 or 3 times. I've had 5, I think, or 6 is one of them. He's actually put me in his book. There's a picture of me in his book, which is a little interesting, but it's there.
In what context? What did he say about you in his book?
Because we've done so many shows together, and we were able to have those conversations, be civil with each other, and so it's an actual picture of us, side by side on the show. So that's interesting.
Okay.
But I am able to have conversations with most of my guests. Most of my guests are able to articulate their position and answer questions. It's nice when that happens. But what I got from Weirdo Face Guy is I must have pissed him off before the show even began. I don't know what I did. I think it's just being an atheist.
Did you know what he said?
What?
He didn't realize that you were an atheist until he heard your intro. Did you see this?
Ciao. There it is. No, I have no idea. I don't follow what anybody says afterwards. These people have their own opinions. That's fine.
How did he not know? Crazy. I don't understand.
Oh, dude.
This guy made a documentary
all the time. Because it says the Bible says what? They see the word Bible and they automatically stop reading. They don't read any more into the conversation. They don't look into the show. They don't click the links I send them. They don't read the rest of the message where it says what we're going to be doing on the show.
So you told him it was going to be an adversarial conversation then, it sounds like.
I showed him what my conversations are. We're going to talk about what you believe, why you believe it. This is who I am. This is where you can find the episodes. I don't know. It's very easy. I make it very easy for them, and they don't always. It's just like their book, They don't pick it up and read it. They just go, "Oh, Bible. That's it. Okay, good. That's it. I read Bible. Bible read."
Man made a documentary. I'm losing.
Yeah.
I recorded content for a little video I was gonna do about your interview with him in the documentary he made. I was gonna review it before here, but I haven't honestly edited it together because of all the crap I've been dealing with. Everything like that. But that will be interesting. Yeah, well, anything else that you would like to chat about?
No, I mean, I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate this. This has been great. You've kind of pushed me. I need to reach out to my own atheist groups around here, see what else I can do and help out there.
But, yeah, man.
Thanks, man.
Find out what the Christian government activists are doing. They're always up to something, and see if there's an American atheist chapter around. Yeah. Because Nevada's a red state. I didn't even check. I just looked around and decided that it probably was. What, am I right?
I think it is. I think you're right. Yeah. I think we're red.
Yeah.
I think we had a crazy gun lady last time.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Again, I'm bad. I need to pay more attention to all that shenanigans.
Excuse me, sorry.
Just
Nevada was the only state that voted Democrat in 2016 and 2020, but flipped to Trump in 24.
Wow. That's
interesting.
crazy.
That is
It's
interesting.
because we got all the angry Republicans that didn't want to live in California anymore. They came over to here.
Oh,
I
God.
think that's what happened.
And
Because I
that's
hear it,
interesting.
don't California my Nevada. It's like, I don't even know what that means. Just go away.
Because I was walking down that main street in Vegas. Was it called Folsom or something? Is it called something else? What am I
Fremont?
thinking of? Fremont. I was
Yeah.
walking down Fremont. There was like all this Trump merch being sold. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm not safe here. Yeah, I don't know.
wow.
Or at least
Well, I
one or
haven't
two
been down there in a
stores.
long, long time.
It was like a Trump shirt that said "I'm back, bitch" or something like that.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Gross. Ugh.
I'm like,
Go away.
whoa, what is this doing here?
Gross, man. I don't know. I don't get it. It's just another cult.
Yeah.
It's just they go from boot licking to sandal licking to orange. Yeah. Anyways,
I've been blackpilled on
clown shoe licking.
populism. I think the populism is the most dangerous thing of all. These people getting the ideas that this demagogue is going to save them from all their imaginary problems, and then they destroy the world around them, trying to basically follow them blindly.
I'm worried we're not going to be able to vote this kind of crap out. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, no, they were trying to seize voting records. What else have they been trying to do? It's kind of hard to keep track of all the bullshit that they get up to, if I'm being honest with you.
Sucks.
That's the point.
Sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Yeah.
Mm.
Threatening legislators with guillotining or whatever he said they should all be executed. Just executing protesters in the street.
Where are we at? Like, how is this happening?
I actually visited the Renee Good and Alex Preddy memorials in Minneapolis. I was there for a little bit. Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
If you ever come up to something we could chat about, you let me know. Although this is sort of like a circle jerk over here. It's not as interesting as fighting with Christians, I'm sure.
That is fun.
More fun when it's a fight, I can get that.
I love the tears. The Christian tears are my favorite.
Honestly, God, I want to bring on people to argue with. That would be interesting to me, but we haven't quite done that yet. And I think right now the point of the show is to interview people who are same team.
Yeah.
But I would totally drag them on my own time and have fun little conversations.
Absolutely.
Have them yell at me about
more voices out there, man. More people spreading it, more people asking questions. Because a lot of these Christians, most of them I find have never even asked these questions. The most basic questions of, do you have a good reason to believe this to be true? Like the most basic shit.
Yeah, because if you're in a social bubble and you're in an ideological bubble, you'll never ask yourself that question. There's no point. There's no point exposing yourself to that discomfort. Because why make yourself uncomfortable when you don't want to? You're perfectly comfortable believing what you believe now, and that's just the kind of mindset that I've always hated. I don't like it, and I know I sound like I'm jerking myself off, but no, seriously, like I don't want to, whether it's politics or religion, I don't want to sit around, eternally with people who agree with me and go, oh yeah, we're so right. Yeah, I don't enjoy that, but so many people, they want to live their lives, do their job, and then they want to do that at the end of the day because it makes them happy. I guess I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, well, living in the fantasy world,
Yeah.
Used to do this as a kid. Well, we need to grow up. Time to get out of that fantasy world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you, and have a good rest of your day.
You too. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Day.
You too.
That one.
Yeah, that one. Bye. All right. I'm going to be real with you. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Yes. I'm going to be weird. Oh, fuck. Well, yeah, I already said I was going to show this book. I'll email him that later. Now, my plan originally was to have edited for you my reaction to the interview he did with Andrew and my reaction to the documentary that Andrew provided here on the live. I would just play that for you. But while trying to figure out how to get literally my basic computer shit working today, I did not have time to do that, unfortunately. Where's my fucking thermal paste? I bought a CPU and a motherboard. Where's the fucking thermal paste? Anyway, I'm not angry. I'm very angry. Instead of that, I'm going to let you know about the upcoming Run Atheist Goddard Park Day. That is going to be very amazing, that we all are excited for very much. On the calendar here, if you go to the Rhode Island Atheist Facebook page, what do we have here? What's going on with Rhode Island Atheists? Do I have a bad network connection? What is going on here? Also, I'm not sharing my screen, but it's not up yet, so it doesn't matter. Oh, it must be a Facebook issue. No, wait, am I having connection? No, my connection's fine. It's Facebook that's bad. It's the children who are wrong. Here, let's go back to any day, Jesus. Jesus is DDoSing me, guys. Jesus! What are you doing? I'll be praying for you in the name of Jesus. I'm sure you will, Krista Sista. I'm sure you will. God damn it. Can someone pray for the Facebook server in the name of Jesus? What the fuck is going on here? Oh, I have it in my fucking phone. Why am I gonna pretend like... Who's trying to call me? Oh, it was Joe. Hi, Joe. Joe, don't call me if there's a problem with the live. Go to chat and tell me. I'll see it there. I'm not. My phone's on silent when I don't want it ringing. You know what I'm saying? Calendar. On Sunday, August 16th at 10 a.m. Right, Joe? 10 a.m. We will be at Goddard Park. Goddard Park, Rhode Island. Where's Goddard Park? I'm so glad you asked. This is a dangerous game I'm playing right now. In Warwick, Rhode Island. Located at the address of 1095 Ives Road, East Greenwich. Why does it say Warwick then? Forget it. In East Greenwich. My track team used to do practices here and meets here. It was amazing. Everyone clapped, especially Jesus. And you should go there and do that and have a fantastic time of it. Andrew, are you here? Andrew, I'm calling you out. I'll argue with you about anything, including how much we both hate Mao. Believe it or not, I hate Mao almost as much as you do. Hassan Piker wore a Mao suit. I was very upset about it. I even wrote the college Democrats. Actually, I didn't write college Democrats. Did I email literal legislators about that? I think I did. There you go. An atheist who hates Mao. Checkmate, Andrew. You lose. Now, anyway. It was all lovely with you today. I will publish a video of me reacting to both Michael's interview with Andrew. That was supposed to be about his documentary, but it was kind of all over the place. Because Andrew can't have a conversation like a normal human being. And my reaction to Andrew's documentary, which was boring for the first hour or two of it, but then it became... Wait, was it multiple hours, or am I tripping? But it became interesting at the very end when he started basically twisting what the word separation of church and state meant to his own selfish ends. I will be uploading that to the Ron Atheist YouTube, as well as my own personal YouTube at Zaylor Avon. Sorry for shilling. So that you can all see it. I might even play it as another live on Ron Atheist, in case that's the only way those... Or I could upload it to Ron Atheist Facebook page. I could do so many wonderful things with that video. So, in fact, it might even be better than doing a live that's an hour longer than it would be otherwise, to have a separate video uploaded on a different day, so people aren't basically overblown with everything all at once. This wasn't bad planning. This was a good thing. See how that works? Everyone, have a good night. Goodbye. Good luck. Look at that pretty anchor with the atom around it. Isn't that a cute, cool logo? Adios, muchachos. Wait, Krista Sista, do you want to argue about something? Do you want to come in the chat? Were you being ironic or were you being serious? Did you want to argue about religion? I'll bring you on. I swear to God. I'll bring you to Discord. We'll have a lovely chat. Oh, I'm gonna while I wait for to see if you respond, I'm gonna show that guy's book to Kick and to Twitch and to YouTube and to all the lovely things. Mr. Mooten.
Send that signal to the market.
Why doesn't it just open up to my stream manager? Wouldn't that be so smart? Technologically speaking. There's Twitch, there's YouTube. I mean, no, I didn't do YouTube yet. I'm tripping out. The funny thing is, I fixed the audio with OBS at the very beginning of opening it to make sure that my audio for him would be working. But then the fucking headphones stopped working. I had to unplug and plug them in 10 times. And unbeknownst to me, OBS had stopped seeing that source because I was doing that and fixing that. And I didn't check it again. Fucking classic, dude. Even when I'm doing things the right way, I get fucked. I'm so glad I'm replacing this piece of shit very soon. All right, Krista Sista is not coming. Krista Sista, you have neglected to meet the challenge. I rise victorious again. Everyone always said I would be victorious. I am undefeated. Bye. Wait, I forgot to actually raid someone. You are being raided by renowned atheists. Enjoy your stream. Enjoy my huge number of viewers right now. Who's the lucky, aka Bro Montana? Wait, if he has like hundreds of viewers, that would be corny. No, okay, no, he has a low number of viewers. It won't be weird if I do this. His hair is much shorter than it used to be. I don't remember him having this short hair. Enjoy this Pal World stream. It's fantastic stuff.